Let me share with you, leaders, another concept that I learned while I was studying at the seminary at Andrews University. I sat in class in 2015, listening to the students talk back and forth with the professor. I remember having discussions in class. I remember the students engaging with the professor and the professor engaging with the students. And I remember feeling that I had no idea what they were talking about. They were talking about theology. They were talking about microcosms. They were talking about all these different things that I had no clue what they were talking about. It was then that I realized I had to do something for myself in order to at least engage in class, but more fully to understand the world that's around me. So I decided to go to Andrews University, James White Library. And there at that library, I chose a section of the library which was church history. And I decided to read every single book in that entire section. And so I took one book and I started reading. I took another book and I started reading. I took a third book, started reading. I just kept going until I knocked out a whole entire section of church history. What I found in this habit that I created was the ability that I did not realize I was creating, that most of the great leaders of our world have done. They have also done the very thing I found unbeknownst to myself while I was at Andrews University. When I read through biographies of great leaders and great men and great influencers of our world, I began to realize that they all had a common habit that they all had, and that was reading. They read a lot. And I'm not talking about one book a year. I'm talking about book after book after book. And so I started to create that habit within myself so that I can understand more about my world, so I can make more connections theologically and mentally and thought-provoking thoughts and so forth and so on. And I began to realize that there is power in what I'm about to share with you right now. AOR, which stands for assiduous, omnivorous reader. You need to become, as a leader, an assiduous, which means constantly reading. You need to become an omnivorous, which means consuming lots of material, lots of reading material, and you need to become a reader. You need to become someone that is constantly with a book, constantly listening to an audiobook, constantly feeding your mind so that as you lead others, you're able to give them something you've gleaned from the books that you have been reading. So this week, what I want you to focus on is I want you to focus on grabbing a book, finishing that book from cover to cover, and once you're done with that book, pick another book. People have asked me, well, Pastor, what genre should I read? What subject should I read? Read what you are passionate about learning. So if you have no idea about the universe, or you have no idea about botany, you have no idea about microbiology, you have no idea about whatever it is that you want to learn more about, start there. If you want to learn more about theology, start there. If you want to learn more about Revelation, start there. Start where you will have your passion. And then from there, start building and reading and reading. You will find that this one habit will transform your ability as a leader. And so try it this week. Share this concept with 3 other people. And by God's grace, I will see you the next time.